Welcome back, beautiful souls, to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive. So I'm being told right now that these messages, they're very specific. And yet in a specific message, this is the power of the advanced souls, is what I'm hearing, is when information comes through for a specific advanced soul, yes, it is specific to them, but the information that flows through is intended to be used as a teaching tool or a way of other souls to understand the inner workings of how things work and kind of to help them gain their footing or get balance. I'm being shown literally an eagle or a hawk of some sort flying, and the wind is so turbulent and there's so much energies, ups and downs and overs and sides. That's the rapid expansion, that it's hard for you to have an even soar or an even glide where you've got the energy under your wings or the wind under your wings and it empowers you. It's almost like you're wonky, like wobbling here and wobbling there. That's what the energy, that's what they're showing me. It's because it's such an enormous amount of energy, information, channeled knowings and wisdom that it's almost like you're just trying to find your footing. So this information trickles down to all the souls that listen to it, regardless of where you are on your path or what you feel your level of advancement is, because again, that is a very human, logical context that we have on the human being form or man's hierarchy that we kind of attune to as a way of marking. I'm seeing a measuring stick and marking it. Well, where are you at? And if you're taller, then that means I'm more advanced. That actually is not the case at all. That is very much part of the subconscious that is going to be revealed. And that 20% that's coming into the conscious awareness on the earth plane, which is why we are going to be having such towers and so many people taking their power back, which has already begun and has been for the last 2 years. So hold on to your hats, friends, is what I want to say to that. And just know that you really are exactly where you're meant to be, and messages reach you that you need. I want to thank the people who are here on this channel who are helping to bring in this guidance. I have a lot of gratitude for that because it helps to bring clarity for everyone else in the collective consciousness, because we are all one. Usually it is the highly advanced souls who already have the awareness of this and don't paint it over with a picture of we're all light and love. Highly advanced souls greatly recognize and can appreciate the darkness and the light, because they are both there in collective consciousness on the earth plane. If that was not true and they weren't both there, the earth plane would not look the way that it does in terms of the consciousness. The highly advanced souls, I'm being told, are here to help creators create from a more balanced standpoint, having the awareness of how their creations impact the collective consciousness. Because let's be honest, if we had people who weren't aware of the true impacts of their consciousness on the rest of the collective consciousness, that's kind of like the chaos, that's kind of like the brutality that happens. I don't know why the word brutal keeps coming up. This is either somebody's judgment of somebody else. Let me tell you, one of my guides is saying it's either somebody judging you with the words coming out of that's brutal, or you feel like the journey has been brutal. I'm hearing this and that are true. So some of you are here having judgments of other souls. That is for you to be, wow, I'm not sure how to explain this in a logical standpoint. There's those of you who have been judged, misjudged, misrepresented, misunderstood, mislabeled. That will become known. I'm being told all truth shall be revealed in that aspect for you. Those misalignments and those misjudgments will be seen exactly for what they are. But I'm also hearing there is a second piece of this. There's an energy that is the energy that is giving the judgment of like, oh, that's brutal, or oh, that's this, or oh, that's that. That typically is a viewpoint or a judgment of somebody who is moving to the next advancement of soul-based growing on the earth plane. That judgmental level tells me that I need to give that person compassion because their judgment is actually a judgment of their self reflecting back to them. That is a hard lesson to learn. I have a genuine emotional compassion right now for whoever that person is, to understand it from that level, because it's just that they don't understand the full scope of what's happening. And I have literally, I just hear Ava's like, flood them with compassion, mom. Flood them with all of the judgment that they are casting out at others. From the basis that they're casting it from is actually the reflection of the judgment that they've had from themselves. And it's also family based. So if there is somebody watching who that is your judgment that you're being placed upon another, I want to be very soft and genuine in literally putting I'm seeing the divine. I say which is interesting because it's me putting my hands around you, almost like holding you. But the divine is saying it's just a reference of understanding for you, Erin, to understand that the divine is holding them in these hands as they heal this judgment of the self, because we are all one. That is the collective consciousness. So it's almost like taking them and surrounding them with the hands of the one infinite creator of kindness, of the angelical realms, to help them heal that judgment of self. Those who are advanced souls recognize they have walked again and under their belt, have walked on many different lives. They never place a judgment. Like the word brutal keeps coming. So it's very fascinating for me to hear that from that aspect. I'm being told to share my personal perspective of this. I'm not sure why, but this perhaps will be helpful to one of you watching. Sometimes I have deep, deep compassion for those people when I hear those judgments. So the reason why I have deep compassion is I'm hearing they just don't know on the grand scheme of things, but it's almost like I get to learn from their judgments of others. I get to learn profound and deep compassion. Because of that too, it's twofold. It is not one is better than another. So they are both, I'm hearing, humbled and are learning to release that judgment and to open to other perspectives. But those who are there as guides to those people, and you're showing me that you as a witness to that, it's almost like you are learning to have the deepest and utmost compassion for people who have judgments, who act from a place of selfishness or unforgiveness or hate or jealousy. I feel like the third party here getting to witness what's happening between the energy of the judger who's placing judgment and the energy of the guide who's really mastering that ability to have compassion. It's fascinating to see it from this perspective, the way the spirit is showing me right now. Let me tell you, my guide is pointing her finger in my face saying, let me tell you, this is an important aspect of the 3D human form. She also says, not everyone will understand the context of what I'm describing here, but those who are meant to understand this context will in deep form. It's going to help the guides to be able to understand the deep compassion they are cultivating and learning and having, and just to further it even deeper. I'm being told graduation, whatever guides this is for, or the heaven sent person this is for, the level of graduation is what I'm seeing. Soul graduation or evolution is profound because you get to bring a lot of people who actually graduate with you. So you don't just do it for you, you're doing it for all these other people. And then I'm being shown the other people, their aspects of those who are in the judging state of mind that's very much within the matrix, and that judgment state of mind you people are going to be graduating to as you understand what your guide is trying to show you, a reflection of yourself, that judgment statement. For those of you who have struggled with the dark and the light and being a witness to all of the dark spheres of consciousness, but also all of the light and beautiful spheres of consciousness, I just want to just say you are amazing. You're not just amazing. I'm so grateful that you're here on this planet because it's not easy to witness those things and be aware of all those things and hold space for both of them. It's not easy to be a bridge between the dark and the light. So I'm being shown that is you who are the bridges. You understand the light and the guide who's helping the person who is in the dark and the younger souls to evolve as well. It's like both become the most beautiful, epic energy when they become integrated and amalgamated. The only way that happens is with that 20% of the subconscious being revealed, remembered, coming online. It allows us to remember many past lives and have a deeper understanding that we are all one. So there are a number of guides who are graduating at this time, and there are a number of younger souls who cast a lot of judgment who are going to be graduating and elevating from that. This is part of the Great Awakening. So remember the ascension process, which I described in multiple videos, and how I personally understand the ascension process to be is that it is simply a graduation from one school of thought to another. And that really does mean creating worlds. If you think about it, if I'm a creator of my own world and I want to create abundance and all those things, I have to be in that understanding, a graduation to a school of thought that I can do that. I can be that. My physical vessel has to be fully embodied in that. My subtle energy bodies need to be aligned with that. And my mind needs to be in tune with that as well. It's a graduation from one school of thought to another. And there isn't just one graduation. I'm being told there are multiple graduations that happen at multiple times during the Great Awakening. This allows for a mass graduation and advancement of souls I'm hearing on a level that is unheard of. That is why it's called the Great Awakening. And it's exciting. It feels very exciting, but it also feels like it's going to feel like a lot of chaos for a lot of people. There's got to be a lot of emotional tears that are wept, a lot of understandings, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of people standing up and recognizing the roles that they have played and the roles that they are intended to play. It's people relinquishing the need to control others. It's people forgiving those who have tried to control them. It's those who have been disempowered, taking back all of their power, but from a place of genuine love, unconditional compassion and forgiveness, meaning this and that are true. Not only do I no longer accept what I accepted in the past and the giving away of my power and sacrificing and creating based on somebody else's desire to create. This is twofold. So we're creating from a standpoint during this graduation of not only taking back our power and saying no to things that took away from us. In the aspect of saying no, we're also saying yes to us, which means we're also taking the personal empowerment of creating that which we want to create. It's removing all of the illusions of others, and it's removing all of the manifestations of others and desires of others, and creating from the desire that we truly wish for ourselves. So just know that graduation is happening on a massive scale. And this is really I just want to say, this makes me genuinely happy. I feel very at peace about this. I feel very comforted. I feel happy about it. I feel excited. I feel like those who have been dreaming for so long, you get to experience the dream in a physical, tangible form. And that's what you've always been working towards. Like, we're all in this together. I'm seeing the train tracks. All aboard is what I keep hearing. I've heard that for a number of years now. And for me, the reference of the all aboard has always been, I've always seen it as there are certain guides who are standing up, ushering people onto the train cars, like, come onto this new train because we're going down this track, and everybody come onto this train because we're going down this track. So that's how I always experience it. That's me personally. That may mean something to you differently. Those of you who are hearing the train, it's because you're moving on to a different timeline, which is simply a graduation into a different school of thought, a different version of you. Those of you who are moving through rapid expansion and experiencing yourself in multiple ways and multiple forms, it can be very confusing. I just need to tell you, anchoring in in your energy in all of these different modalities is important, because there are multiple versions of consciousness. As the 20% of the subconscious is revealed, this is when you suddenly realize that there is a lot more out there that we didn't know. The more we recognize, or the more we find out, or the more understanding we come to, it is common on this journey to recognize how little we do know. It's like one little increment, one little iota, and it's just our own personal experience. And that really is, everybody's looking for the great knowing. The great knowing is, wow, I don't think I could possibly hold space for all of the great knowing. I only have this little iota right here, but this little iota is important because it is part of the great knowing. And that is very important. And that is directly tied into, I'm being told, my guides are saying that understanding of the great knowing, you are a part of the great knowing. It doesn't mean we are meant to know all, but your piece of who you are, the fragmented soul, the lessons that you're learning, is literally a part of the great knowing. That's how important your journey is. That's why we're having these massive graduations. And I'm being told nothing can stop this. So those of you who have been projected at, have had darkness, negative energies, people intentionally doing black magic, I'm seeing all the hats come off, all the cloaks being removed. Truth be told, it is inevitable. Nothing can stop this. End of story. Your focus and knowing on this actually is what helps to dismantle it and discard it. It loses its power. So I hope these messages resonated. There has been a lot of different information coming through. Please note in the comments, let me know if these are pieces and parts of your journey, or if this is helping you make sense. I literally have a team of guides here saying that they want to let you know that every time you ask a question, the question that you ask is actually more relevant than the answer, because if you ask the wrong question, if you ask the same question over and over again, you're going to get the same answer over and over again. And in addition, if you don't actually know what the problem is, like if it's been, I'm hearing blinded by the light. If you don't understand what the true problem is and it looks like it's something else, every time you go to solve the problem, you will not be able to succeed or graduate or go past it because you don't actually know what the problem is. So it's like finding solutions for problems, but that never was the problem. So the 20% I'm being told is the revealing of what the true issue is, what the blocks are coming from, why they're coming, things you are remembering and revealing to help you move forward in that graduation process. The whole black magic piece, I'm being told, is a significant part of it. That will be revealed